Welcome, gamers, to a journey back in time when pixels ruled and joysticks were king. If you know anything about Papa Brad, you know I'm a huge Atari fan. Introducing the MyArcade ATARI GameStation Pro. Is this the ultimate retro gaming console that brings back the golden age of gaming right into your living room? Or is it just another bad emulation console? Let's get it started. The MyArcade Atari GameStation Pro. First thing you notice, beautiful Atari style joysticks. 3 buttons. You've got paddles with 3 sensitivity settings that actually work. Got a button on top of the joystick. It connects to your TV with HDMI, making those retro games look crisp. Has an SD card, so you can load it up with all those retro games you want to play. Comes with 200 games, but that's not a problem because you're going to load a bunch more. Comes with some good hits: Asteroids, Missile Command, Centipede, Pong. Of course, it has the arcade version of Food Fight, might be my favorite, that it comes with stock. There's tons here to like, so let's dive deep into the GameStation Pro from MyArcade. First off, let's talk about the games. Quite a few games in here. You have actually 200 games, but not all of them are Atari. Some of the Atari games you get are Air Sea Battle, Adventure, Asteroids, Boxing, Breakout, Canyon Bomber, Centipede, Circus Atari, Combat, Crystal Castles, Dark Chambers, Demon of Diamonds, Dodge 'em, Drag Race, Fast Eddie, Frog Pond, Gravatar, Haunted House, Human Cannonball, iRobot, Lunar Lander, Major Havoc, Millipede, Miniature Golf, Missile Command, Night Driver, Off the Wall, Outlaw, PONG, which is actually Video Olympics, Quad Run, Real Sports Baseball, Real Sports Football, Roadrunner, Skydiver, Solaris, Space War, Super Breakout, Sword Quest, several of those games, Star Raiders, Steeplechase, Tempest, Video Pinball, Warlords, Wizard, and Yar's Revenge. Those are pretty much the highlights of the Atari games included in the box. One of the great things about this console, of course, is that you can hook it up to an HD TV, HDMI out, and you can play a lot of these classic retro games in beautiful HD with a crisp, vibrant display that's going to showcase all the pixels of your favorite classic retro games. Another good feature about this is it has very good controls. I do really like the joystick that they had created. Very nice. Like kind of an Atari joystick taken to the next level. Hey, what's happening? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Here we are. We have Nix. What's going on, man? Let's get everyone in here. Let's see. How can I get this done? Where are we at? Why am I not on there? There I am. Hey, what's happening, Nix? Can you hear me? My headphones are turning off. You've got a button in the front. You've got a button in top. You've got a spinner. Another cool thing about the joystick is if you hold on the button in the front, check this out. You can change the color of the RGB lights. Next, you're muted. Check your mic. And that is pretty cool. I like that.
I am muted.
Sweet. You are muted. Okay, hold on a second. That's one of the strengths. And we are rolling so good. Anyway, with you doing that, the joysticks, I had to get you on the screen. But anyway, to me, that's one of the strengths of this console. I know you've extensively tinkered with it, as I have now. So we both have pretty good opinions. What do you think of the joystick? Let's talk about that first, because this is a big factor for this console. I feel like this joystick alone is almost worth the purchase price. Look at that.
Oh, absolutely. Look at that.
You can hold down the button. You can change the color of the RGB lights. Pretty cool. This has the feel. It reminds me of the feel of a classic Atari joystick, but maybe even a little bit more deluxe. And of course, the thing that people forget is these are wireless. You don't have to have them wired up to your console.
Yes,
These are the 2.4 gigahertz wireless. And you got all your controls. You got your start, your select button when you're doing emulation, and you get two of them.
4 AA batteries going here. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think to me, you got the joystick and the paddle works amazingly well. Like I was shocked. Like I thought, man, there's no way this little paddle is gonna
No,
do it.
you do not charge rainwater. You cannot charge the controllers.
No,
I
use
would say,
batteries. You
yeah,
can't plug
you
them in. You can run that. You can just plug them directly into. There's two ports on the front.
yeah.
We
There's
can
a
run
port.
cables.
There's a port here. You can connect it directly to the system,
Welcome to the stream, Michael.
but
Yeah, you can.
you
Mhm.
can't charge it. No,
Yeah, very
can't charge
simple
the battery.
design. If you notice, it's a lot like a classic Atari. You have an A button, you have a B button on top, you got a trigger, which is basically your C.
And
So you got three buttons to work with. So right there,
ooh, look at that.
if you stick with the stock joystick, you're kind of limited. Like most your games need to have three buttons. Once you break beyond three buttons, you're gonna need a gamepad. And Nix, you've connected some gamepads to the GameStation Pro as well, right?
I have connected. What we
You're using
have
a
here
PS5 right now, huh?
is a PS5
And
controller,
how
and
much
it's
how much configuring did you have to do to make that work?
0.
You literally just plug it in and it works.
Plug in, it
So
works.
I've heard very good reports from several, probably joysticks. If you have any consoles right now, these are probably just game joysticks you have laying around, game pads that are completely. Hey, look who we got, Jason. Welcome to the stream. So I would say the first win for me by far, and I was ready to be critical because I am an original hardware person. I am the person that collects real Atari stuff. I have tons of I have real Atari consoles,
This
and
feels good.
yeah, I was amazed. This joystick is really nice, and the amazing thing is the paddle actually works. I mean, like I was shocked that it actually works well.
Yep.
Um,
I was playing Solar Storm the other day, a paddle game, and I had just with the in-game
mhm.
sensitivity adjustments, I was able to adjust it to the low sensitivity, and it
I
made the
always
game
run it on low. I don't
perfect.
know. For me, the low
It
always
was
seems to feel the
perfect.
best. Just
It
I,
felt
I,
it
I
felt
just
perfect
the low seems the best to me.
for that
We
game.
have
It was
we have
perfect.
a poll up. I've prepared a bunch of stuff for this stream. I've been working on this for like 3 days to put this together, and I'm excited because we're going to talk about the GameStation Pro. I did put a
Yes.
poll up to compare the three different consoles, and I know people are saying that's an apple, orange, and a banana. But just in your opinion, what was the best Atari console for 2023 since it's the end of the year? This year, I do have all three. I mean, the first one I got the Atari 2600 Plus.
Okay.
Just did a
Definitely.
firmware update today in it, and I love it. If now the 2600 Plus for me is if you have a lot of real Atari cartridges laying around, if you're an Atari collector, this is what you've been waiting for. Um,
And then that's where I'll be the devil's advocate for me
mhm,
personally, as
mhm.
a person who does not have a bunch of carts in my a box somewhere
Uh,
from my past. Um, that product to me, um, it's nice, but I would have to start collecting carts from scratch. I have
right,
zero
right.
zero games, and so for me, um, that's very nostalgic, and I love the idea.
Uh,
If I had a bunch of game cards, I definitely would buy that, but I
yeah.
but I definitely found that the GameStation Pro was a good fit for me,
Uh,
this 2023 season.
excellent, excellent. And starting at price, this one's right in the middle. I think it's around 129. I think is what it was around when I bought it, if I remember right. I also got a VCS this year. Um,
Mm,
VCS is going to be the upper end. I only paid $179 for mine. Um, but I've been enjoying that console too, and that is an Atari console. It has some modern games, has a lot of recharge games, has an excellent library of indie games. About 145 games, I think, in the store, and that continues to go up. But it is also a really cool console. Okay, and
absolutely.
Let's see. Yeah, that's true. I did have duplicates. I sent him a bunch of my duplicate cartridges.
And,
The
and I definitely think with the VCS, there's definitely a good market there. I think it's definitely up there with the GameStation Pro. I do
yeah.
like the ability that it is not a closed system, that you do have the ability to play those recharge titles. And why don't you speak a little bit more about that, Brad?
Yeah, I mean the recharge titles are basically they take the classic modern Atari games that you love and they just kind of modernize them. They're very chill. I mean, like I love like just sitting on my sofa and playing. I mean, I could play Asteroids Recharge for hours probably. But they have basically all the classic 80s arcade games. You know, Asteroids, Missile Command, Centipede. They have all the big Atari titles. So I think that's a strength of the VCS is the retro modern games that they put on are really good. And
Absolutely, at
then
an affordable price too, as well.
yeah, that is it is pretty affordable. It is a very niche console though, because you're approaching the price. Like I got mine on sale. They always put them on sale if you're patient. But this thing, let's talk a little bit about the price that I got it for. Now I know this thing goes for about $90 to $100, but I picked mine up for $54.41 shipped.
What a deal!
And I'll be
Divide that by
honest.
divide that by
I
three.
was critical. I was like, how good can this be if it's this cheap? I was super critical. I was like, man, this thing's
Pay,
gonna be this thing's gonna be a piece of junk. I
you're
really
paying
got low
20
low
bucks a piece
expectations.
plus that 20 bucks for each
I
item.
mean,
Yeah.
how they can even offer this for that price to me is unbelievable.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
and that's what I found was a good
And
price point fit
we're
for
going
me.
to talk a little bit about the emulation, some of the hacks you can do, some of the tricks you can do to maximize this thing. It comes with a bunch of stuff stock, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. But I wanted to stop right here because I really wanted to emphasize that just the joysticks alone
Look how pretty.
are worth it.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at
and
the
they
rainbow
actually
swirl.
control well. Like you can play the Atari games and they control well. I am a fan of original hardware.
It
But
changes from white.
I was shocked how good the quality
And
was.
there's red. Look at that.
You
Like
know,
Atari button red. Look at that.
I know it's cool. Options, options, options. If that's one
Option.
thing that is good as a retro gamer, give me options. You know, I know a lot of people get this, they won't do anything to it. But the thing is, there's so much you can do it.
Oh yeah,
And
we're gonna tell you how.
we're gonna dive way deep
Dive
into
right
that
in.
in a few minutes.
Mhm.
So let's say hello to some people in the chat. We already said hi to Jason, Rich Odello, glad you're here.
Brooklyn.
Goofyfoot, glad you're here. Michael, glad you're here. Marty McFly.
McFly.
You always like the smoothness of the 5200 sticks. We're going to dive into some 5200 games. We got Brooklyn Menace. Welcome to the chat. Brooklyn Menace also just received a Atari VCS. Welcome to the club. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely.
And let's find out more about it though. So far we've talked about hooks up to a modern television, HDMI out, very very clean, crisp graphics for retro emulation. This is good. I mean, to me, the picture seems clearer and cleaner than like on a Raspberry Pi going through the HDMI out. That's one of the strengths too. But we're gonna get into that. Let's watch.
Roll the tape.
The Atari GameStation Pro. Look at this awesome joystick. Another benefit of the GameStation Pro is you don't have to worry about losing your progress. You can save your game and pick up right where you left off. So it has save states built in, and that's a huge benefit for all the built-in games. You have 2 save slots via the onboard memory and 2 save slots via an SD card, which you have to supply yourself. First thing you're going to want to do when you get this device, you're going to update your firmware to the latest firmware. The latest firmware as of the recording of this video is going to be the 1.3 firmware. I'll put links to upgrade your firmware. I like Gen X Grown Up. He's a great YouTuber, and he's going to show you exactly how to update your firmware.
And in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 easy steps to update the firmware on your GameStation Pro, and then we'll take a quick look at the changes and improvements you can expect from this updated version of the software.
This is the video I used.
Okay, so let's take a quick look at the menu system of
Makes it easy.
MyArcade. The menu
He explains it.
clean. Atari.
He explains it very well. And I would say, like, update that firmware from the get-go. If you're going to consider doing these mods, before you even start tinkering, just update the firmware. That would be my very first step that I would do. I mean, you might boot it on, maybe play some of the stock games for a few minutes, but you definitely want to update that firmware before you get into all these other things we're going to show you.
Absolutely.
Because it's going to make it, everything's going to work so much better. That initial firmware update, they did a ton of improvements. And I can't believe how much MyArcade improved this thing. I mean, right out the gate, file system naming got better. There's so many things that are built into that initial firmware update. So the first step, I would say, go to Gen X Grown Up. He has a good tutorial. He'll run you right through how to update the firmware, and you're ready to rock and roll after that. Because who you're going to see after that? I see you go visit Johnny. Johnny's going to hook you up with everything else you need to make this thing an emulation beast. Games, press A to proceed. You've got all Atari 2600. And you just go down if you want to scroll over and look at the games. Atari 5200, 7800.
This is the update. They made better
paddle games,
menu navigation,
multiplayer, and recent. Okay, so you've updated your firmware. You're on the newest firmware. And now you're ready to really start adding some games. I'm going to recommend two sources. I'm going to recommend you watch Gen X Grown Ups video again on 10,000 games. And then I would also recommend that you visit Johnny. I'm going to put his link in the description.
Johnny!
He is going to help you
Shout out to
figure
Johnny.
out how to get
Shout
all
out
the
to Johnny.
games onto the GameStation
Johnny got me all
Pro.
the games.
You'll be using a memory card to fill up this GameStation Pro with every retro game that you ever want to play. I'm going to show you some of the games and what you can do
Insanity.
with just a little bit of
you want to
searching
use one of these,
on
you
YouTube.
put it into your computer.
Let's check out emulation on
Right
the
there.
GameStation Pro.
Focus.
Okay, so now we're in the
like
memory
rest of the
card. And you're going to
adapter.
see I've set up some directories of the things that I'm interested in playing on this GameStation Pro. Of Atari 2600. You'll make another directory for your paddle games so that they work.
Okay, let's talk about that just for a minute. When you do your Atari 2600 games, you're going to want to pull out the ones that use paddles and put them into a different directory.
Yes.
Otherwise, the paddle will not work. But it's literally as easy as dragging and drop it. So what I did is I just copied all the games that I wanted to play that had paddles into a separate directory. You name it Atari 2600 paddle, and boom, then you're playing all the paddle games. But you have to do that to make the paddle work. Interestingly enough, this is my list I decided to stick with. I like all the stuff that's on here right now. I don't think I'm going to go too much further into this, but here's my list. Paddle does now work with the Atari 2600 games. I have some arcade games, Atari 7800, Genesis, Nintendo, Atari, Game Boy, and Game Gear. Let's check some of this out. Let's see. Let's start with Atari. This is for educational purposes only. So you can see all these Atari games now are easily playable. Let me check out one of my favorites real quick.
Oh yeah.
See how it plays. Okay, the first thing we're going to check out as far as emulation with the GameStation Pro. We're going to check out one of my favorite games of all time. Of course, I'm talking about the Activision classic Hero.
Shout out to Rich
This is a game
Odello.
I'm very familiar with, so I'll be able to test the emulation well. Play this game on original hardware now, the 2600 Plus, and of course now I'm checking it out on the GameStation Pro. So let me check it out and tell you what I think. Okay.
Look at that. Look how good that game looks.
Look at that picture. This is all
One of the
captured
reasons
directly.
to do the mod where you hack it and you put your own ROMs on it, of course, is you're going to miss all the Activision games if you don't do this. There are no Activision games. And to be honest, a lot of the great Atari library is missing, in my opinion. So you're definitely going to want to hack this thing. Once you hack this mug, This is running smooth. Oh! Oh my goodness, the spider got me.
Spider got me.
Try.
Go that way. Gotta use the dynamite.
Got this game on here.
What a great game.
It looks fun. I missed out on this when I was younger. I never had
So
this.
yeah, right off the bat, I mean, like the first reason to hack this thing is you want to get all those Atari games that you can't play. You want all those Activision titles, you know, Spider Fighter, Hero, Frostbite, River Raid. You want all the Activision stuff, right?
Sequest.
Sequest, exactly. And these Atari games are really small too. So like they're not going to take up any memory on that memory card. I mean, you could have the whole library, and it's barely going to even phase it. So let's check out some more Hero. But the first thing I want to say is that this was really a test for the joystick, because this game, it requires a lot of joystick movements, and it was actually pretty good. Like the joystick wasn't making me get killed. It was my own skills, but I think the joystick works good for. I'm speaking for Atari emulation, for playing Atari games. Do you feel the joystick that came with it is good for playing Atari emulation? 2600.
I'm gonna say yes. I played Atari a lot when I was younger, like a lot. When I was like 4 years old, 5 years old, and I played on the original hardware. So in my memory, I know what it felt that those joysticks feel like. And then going to this, I didn't really feel like I had to make any adjustments based on this hardware.
This felt like home as an Atari fanboy. I mean, someone that's played Atari for a long time. This felt like home.
I have no gripes.
Hollywood Paul is asking for one of my favorite secrets. One of my favorite secrets is that with the GameStation joysticks, you can press the button in the front and you can change the color. It changes the console and the joystick at the same time. I'll try to hold up I don't know if you can see the console. I'll try to hold it up, but check it out. When each time I press it,
it cycles the color.
It matches. So whatever color the joystick is, the console also wirelessly changes to that different color. I thought that was pretty cool. That's the first secret I thought was neat when I discovered it.
Yep.
A lot of the secrets you're going to discover when you start putting side loading games into it, because it can do so much. You're going to be amazed. I was shocked.
But there's a limit, though. I'm going to answer Hollywood Polo's question. Now, when it comes to games that require 6 buttons, right? So we're moving
Street Fighter.
We're moving into Super Nintendo. We're moving into the Super Nintendo console. Or I don't know if we could play anything beyond that era on here, but let's focus on Super Nintendo right now and how they utilize all 6 buttons. Now, basically how the button mapping is set up based on the emulator, it uses one of those buttons that we need. I believe it's the Y button, essentially what Super Nintendo would use. Or no, sorry, the X, because it goes YX. So it'd be that top button, like the triangle, right, on PlayStation, if you're following me. So that button is actually mapped to the GameStation Pro's menu button, right? So when you play any games that require that button input, you can't play it. So for example, playing Super Mario Kart on this device, you can't use items in the game because the button that is mapped to that is the menu button for the GameStation. So you can't really play it. Hopefully in a future update they'll fix the button mapping in regards to
so you can run it
so you can play it. But for now, stick to games that don't utilize all 6 buttons, like Genesis with 3 buttons, and Super Nintendo games that only use the 2 buttons.
Yeah, to me, I mean, it's basically this thing really shines for all the original Atari consoles, the 2600, 5200, 7800, the NES, of course,
Game Boy.
And the Game Boy, and the Genesis. They are all good. I mean, this is I think the reason to get this. Okay, so let's
unit and how easy it is to navigate in and out of the game.
Hero's looking good. Oh, Snake got me.
Get him go with that hero.
So that I was going to fly into him. Like
Sure.
sometimes you have to go back up. There's someone there, you know. There's an enemy there.
Helicopter pack. Okay, you go.
Yeah, sometimes a capture card you can't see. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one thing
It's not the
don't-
console. It's
not
the
the
capture
console.
cards that have the problem.
Yeah,
it's
you-
not
you-
like that on your screen when you're playing.
Yeah, it's missing some frame and trying to capture the image. So, for example, when you're watching me play my Atari Tuesday stream yesterday,
Anything that flickers. But
flashing
this game doesn't flicker a lot.
yeah. And it's almost like you have to adjust the capture card's frame per second capture, and even then it's not 100% perfect. But other games that we do systems, it's not as noticeable. Like NES, you can play these games.
Yeah, just a few of the 2600
And it
games.
streams- yeah,
It's only when you're
streams good on
capturing
the
them,
capture card, But when
I
you're
did
playing
notice
these games, it's perfect. You're not missing.
Yeah, it's
frames.
perfect.
It's one for one solid emulation. And it doesn't stretch the image; it keeps it in its aspect ratio when you're
Yeah.
playing
On the Atari, it does. On the Atari, it does.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that when we get to arcade games. But on the Atari, it keeps the aspect ratio locked.
Okay, so the hero test, the emulation's
Hero
very
test
smooth.
pass.
Joystick works pretty well. Of course, I do prefer using original Atari joystick, but this is
who doesn't?
very good. Very good.
This is
Very
still good.
playable, very
Atari
high
Plus.
quality joystick.
It's Atari Plus joystick.
I'm gonna have to
right?
say for basic 2600
Plus,
emulation,
Plus.
this gets a pass in my book. Atari 2600 emulation of the joystick is very good.
Yeah. You're going to be fine. You
I'm
can
gonna
use
try
the
a
joystick it
difficult to
comes
run
with.
game next.
Absolutely.
Next,
And you
let's
got
try
two of them. You
Pitfall
get two.
2. That's a game that a
Let's
lot
try
of
a monster.
emulation has trouble running. Let's
This
try
is
that
one that
next.
they always have trouble running.
Okay,
Pitfall 2.
Pitfall 2.
Yeah, look at that go.
Woo!
Right.
Look at this. Running it like a champ.
It's playing good. No
Look how
slowdown.
smooth it is. No slowdown. It's got all the sounds.
All
Loving
right.
it. We swim. Get that gold.
Okay, so no problem running Pitfall 2. Go back to the menu.
Woo.
So let's try some homebrew.
Homebrew.
Princess Rescue.
Yeah,
Yep.
plays homebrew. That's another
Obviously,
secret,
what
guys.
this is a tribute to.
What is this
It
a tribute
plays
to?
homebrew.
What's this a tribute to?
Yep, it's pretty much Mario running on a 2600.
The Super Mario
Good.
Brothers. Have you seen this before, Nex?
Not
This
this
is
game.
this is redonkulous. Check this out.
I've seen a Donkey Kong hack that uses that same sprite.
I mean,
of Mario.
you know, keep in mind the 2600 was made to play Pong and maybe Combat at the most. And
Smart programmers.
it's amazing.
Some coins.
You get
And
fireballs,
this
too.
one even does both buttons. You can do like the fireballs. If you use the other button, both buttons work. You can shoot the fireballs when you power up.
Oh, that's cool.
Ah!
That's fantastic.
This is called Princess Rescue. If you want to check it out. This is a homebrew game. Look, it's got the fireballs.
He looks yellow. Oh my god, green fireballs.
Oh,
It's like little peas.
It's so janky, but it's
second
great.
button did work on Princess Rescue.
I
Insane.
mean, this is a tough one to emulate. We just picked two games that are usually.
light bulbs.
These are two very problematic homebrews. I mean, a homebrew and a hard to run game. Pitfall 2 and Princess Rescue.
Oh, come on now.
And
Oh yeah, the Atari Deluxe that somebody homebrewed. The Asteroids. Yeah, sorry, not Very Deluxe. The Asteroids Deluxe. Somebody homebrewed. I've got that. That looks really darn
Yeah, that's
good.
real good. And you know what? Space Rocks is a really good version of Asteroids. There's a game called Space Rocks. It's a homebrew as well, and it's a very good version of Asteroids. Instead of having all that flickering. And we're looking at Princess Rescue, a homebrew. Running on the GameStation Pro.
Homebrew is good to go.
I mean, like music and everything. I can't imagine how frustrating it must have been even to get this to look like this using Atari. Pretty cool though. Yeah, Space Rocks is great. Look into that one. That's another homebrew that's really good. I'm going to show you some of the best homebrews. This one's fun. I got some other ones I want to share.
Yeah.
I'm going to die right here. Now, see, this would be a game where a gamepad would be good. Like if I would have had your PlayStation 5 joystick.
Oh yeah.
I probably would have done way better than using. I use the Atari GameStation Pro. Here is a masterpiece that you definitely want to put on your memory card. You know what's this game, Nix?
Oh, it's River Raid.
This is River Raid.
I know what this game is.
This is one of the greatest Atari games. I love this. And you know, you can put the Magic, the Activision, some homebrews. Everything's going to work. Very good compatibility. All the games were very playable. Look beautiful on an HD TV. Next up, we're going to go look at some Donkey Kong VCS.
This is another amazing homebrew.
This one is insane.
You see how easy it was for Brad to pop out of that back in and out of games. You just have to press once you're
press
on that
two buttons. Card. It's very quick to get in and out.
You just have to press the menu button. That's all you got to press.
It's interesting. The capture card makes him look weird, but it looks good on the TV. I don't know why. It looks a little bit off. It looks better than it looks on the screen right now.
Very user friendly. Pop in and out of games at your leisure. Very little loading time. Games load instantly.
Yeah, the games load instantly. Yeah, Space Rocks works great. Now, if you remember the Donkey Kong that Coleco made was really terrible. I mean, this is like 1,000% better. This is called DK VCS. This is a very easy to find homebrew. Anyone that's into homebrew on Atari, they're gonna have this. It's even got the Cement Factory. So you're basically running like an NES game on the Atari, basically.
Cool.
Pretty crazy.
So we're 2 for 2 on homebrew.
2 for 2 on homebrews.
And we ran Hero. So Atari 2600 emulation is pretty good. Let's try a paddle game real quick.
So press 2 buttons.
You'll notice that paddle games are in their own directory. You title it Atari 2600 Paddle.
Yeah, just that menu button. That's all you got to press.
To test the paddle game, we're going to test
Kaboom.
This is one of the most demanding paddle games. Requires split-second accuracy. Requires accuracy from the paddle control.
Yeah, it's the 2 buttons, the 2 outer buttons here.
Paddle control on the GameStation.
Yeah, menu and start, I believe, at the same time.
Paddle. See it?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I do want to point out one of the cool things is that
paddle is amazing. I love playing the paddle games. It takes me back because I haven't played paddle games since the Atari.
I know. Paddle games were such a key thing with the Atari too.
For me, that works the best.
Warlords. Oh.
So far, I've always put it on the lowest. Seems to, for me to feel the best.
It feels good. It feels very responsive on the lowest setting for most games that I've played. Yeah.
And like See, I had this. This is another Atari emulation device, the Retron 77. And the weakness of this is it could not play paddle games.
Oh no! Oh,
No,
right.
no. It was too, like, the paddles would be kind of jerky. So to me, paddle emulation is a big deal because I've had an Atari console that couldn't play any paddle games.
Oh,
This plays them pretty good. I'm not saying my gameplay is good, but it's not the controller's fault. That would be my fault. But it gets very fast, very quick. Okay, pretty good
does.
overall. Passes the Kaboom test. It's brutal.
Plays pretty
it
good.
is brutal.
Yeah,
Let's try
if
one
you can get to
other
1,000,
game.
you're doing
Let's
good.
Try Super Breakout.
It's almost impossible. It's so fast.
And here's another game that's a tough paddle game. We're looking at some Super Breakout.
And you can see how you lose some frames with some of these Atari games with a capture card.
Yeah. It's not like that on the TV. It's just because you're capturing it. I actually captured the footage on StreamYards, so there will be a little bit of that. It's not the
Super Breakout
device.
Test.
Yeah.
Good. Let's go
Happens
into the
with me
next
too when I
category.
stream the
Yeah.
Atari games
Checking
with a
out the
capture card. It's
5200
not an
emulation.
isolated.
Let's check out some
It's
Mega
just
Mania.
No.
it's just the frames per second. What the output of what Atari games do with modern technology.
And
When it
now
comes to the
we're
capture
switching
card.
consoles. This is actually the 50. This is the 5200.
Oh, it's Mega Mania.
Mega Mania 5200, which I didn't even know
Pretty
they had
good.
a version of this. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty good.
Looks a little bit better.
Yeah, it's a little. It
Right.
plays just like it. Yeah, it's great. This was a fun game.
Oh, it really is.
They had a lot of cool space shooters. Spider Fighter, Mega Mania, Demon Attack. Here's some 5200 Defender. I've never played this before. It's the first time I played this. Pretty cool.
Some Defender.
Yeah, since it doesn't flash as much, it's actually getting picked up by the capture card better than the
Yeah,
Atari
yeah. The
2600.
Atari 2600
Yeah.
had a lot of
There was just so
a lot
much
of
on the
flickering.
screen.
The flickering is what throws it off. So we're gonna look at one more 5200
That looked
game.
nice.
How could I not look at Space Invaders? How could I not, Nix?
Oh, you gotta.
You knew I was gonna go here.
You had to go here.
Always with the Space Invaders, Papa Brad. I've never even played 5200 Space.
This
It's
looks
not
this
bad.
looks like a really good one.
Look at the effect on the bases with the rainbow.
Is this
It's
a
pretty
ROM pack
crazy.
one?
No,
Or
this
is
is the
the
one I
actual
think they
legit version,
released. Yeah, this is the legit version, I think.
Actually, not bad. That would hold up today. That's pretty
And we're
smooth
jumping
emulation.
now to
Or,
of course, the
animation.
third generation of Atari consoles. We're gonna look at some 7800 games, starting with Dig Dug.
Oh my gosh! Look at the art style on this one. Slight variation of the arcade art
Yeah.
style. Yeah.
Some Desert Falcon. This is a really cool game if you've never checked it out. The 7800 emulation
Oh, nice.
on the
Isometric view.
GameStation Pro. Yeah, this game is great. I want to pick up a real part of this eventually.
Oh, look at this. Nice shooter. Yeah, I gotta get some Atari 5200 2000 games on mine. I don't currently have them on my GameStation Pro yet.
Yeah, you got to talk to Johnny. Johnny knows.
Johnny!
Johnny, shout out to Johnny.
Johnny, be good. Come on, baby.
This game's crazy. It's got these bosses at the end. You got to shoot this thing in the face. Crazy.
Well, that's what happened to the Sphinx. It was you.
That's right, man. It was the Desert Falcon's fault. We're going to some Sega
Try
Genesis.
some Genesis emulation next.
Oh, do we got some Michael Jackson?
Sega.
Dreamwalker. Or was it Dreamwalker?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Of course, Sonic. You got to play Sonic. Sonic will play because you know what's funny about Sonic games?
What's funny about Sonic?
When I had a Sega Genesis, the actual hardware and the Sonic game, I was able to plug an Atari controller into the Sega Genesis and play Sonic
That's cool.
because it's only one button, right? And it's the same
Yeah.
connection. It's exact same.
Same
connection.
connector, yeah.
Yeah,
Same
same
thing.
connector as Atari. Yeah, the audio comes in good. No.
Nice and crisp picture. This is all captured directly off the device. Just a card straight into StreamYards and recording. So you can see what the games look like. Once again, this might be one of those games you might want to plug in that that gamepad. I played all the gameplay using the stock controller. So every game on here I played, I didn't hook up a gamepad.
Yeah, you do. You have because the buttons.
You'll get a
will map.
huge advantage going to a gamepad on some of these games.
Yeah, the buttons will map accordingly. Your A, B, and then the trigger being C.
Mm-hmm. Rachel Dello says the Atari is a serial connector DB9. There you go, man. That's the first level of Sonic running smooth as can be.
Absolutely, you can plug that into a Sega Genesis, and it'll work. You can use it as a.
And I can't really talk about Sega without going to my favorite Sega game of all time, Streets of Rage. This game to me, I don't know why I just love it though. It never gets old. You know, it's a beat 'em up on the Sega.
Oh yeah.
Great music. Almost feels like it could have been an arcade beat 'em up. It's that good. Doesn't even feel like a console beat 'em up, you know.
So like this GameStation Pro is like it's all your childhood consoles wrapped into one.
I know it's so far right now we've already shown the 2600, 5200, and the 7800, and now we're showing the Genesis running. And look how smooth the emulation is. Emulation on these consoles is good. Once again, the Genesis not bad because most of the games were like 3 buttons, right?
Absolutely, and the gamepad connection it'll accommodate the Sega Genesis games. Well, you could also, like I said, I mentioned just a few minutes ago, you could play Genesis with this controller.
Yeah, I played everything with the stock controller, but I mean, with the gamepad, would even probably feel more like you're playing the Genesis, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, because it'll map to 3 buttons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever video output they are using, I mean, the picture quality is excellent. It's just way better than a Raspberry Pi. Which before that, you know, I was using that as a general retro game emulation unit, and I like this more than the Raspberry Pi actually. For the older consoles, especially, you know, for like the Atari, Genesis, NES.
And this unit is powered by 5-volt to USB-C. So if you have a 5-volt USB-C, it's portable. You could take this thing anywhere.
Yeah,
right? As long as you
it's
have an
small
HDMI.
too, man. It's really small.
Exactly. You could just, like if you want to go over to friends and family, you can just easily unplug it. And compared to like, you know, lugging a whole big console over to somebody's house like back in the day.
I'll be honest, I was really shocked by the quality. I thought for $55, which I paid for it, shipped, I thought, how good could this thing be? Turns out it's pretty amazing. It's really good. You know, get a memory card. You know, I have links in the description of this video. They'll get you everything that I have here and then some. You know, there's so much it can do. If you love retro games, this is a cool little device.
Like I said, if you even want to use an arcade stick, like, as long as it plugs in USB-C, I'm sure you could use a third-party arcade stick on this thing too.
Yeah, probably. The controller emulation is real good from what you said. It just picks up the controller automatically.
I'm not sure if it does run Dreamcast or not.
No.
Maybe Atari Jaguar, who knows?
I don't think so. I don't think so. It's not supported yet, but you never know down the road.
You never know down the road.
You never know. People fall in love with it, you know. I don't know how far they can push this thing, but
I don't know.
I do love.
We're still experimenting to see what else is on here. What kind of
keep in mind, this is only after the first firmware update too. So, boom.
But yeah, I would be hard pressed to think that it supports that generation.
Okay, let's check out some arcade games. I'm gonna pick 3 games to play.
3 arcade games.
3 classics. Now we're in the arcade.
Okay, let's try some Donkey Kong.
So we've shown all the Atari consoles, Genesis. Now we're moving to some arcade games. Let's see how the arcade emulation is. Right off the bat, the first problem is it's stretched. Now, I did read that you can put a bezel on it, and that will unstretch the image. So if you want it to not be stretched, you put a bezel on it, and it will make it the correct aspect ratio.
Oh, Mario.
But outside of the aspect ratio, the game is running really pretty smooth.
Oh.
Oh. I'm not saying I'm playing it well. I'm saying the game is running smooth.
Nothing like the sound of old Nintendo games.
I love the sound of Donkey Kong. This is probably one of my favorite arcade games of all time. I can never walk by if I'm in an arcade, they have one of these, I gotta at least play a game or two.
Super Hammer.
Just game I love, you know. You know, but keep in mind, you know, sub $100 device. It's emulating this arcade game really well, you know.
It sure is.
A lot of times, you know, the sound is even good. I don't notice any sound glitches. Like on my at games, I get a little bit of crackling and popping sometimes with some of the sounds. Could be my speakers from playing it so much too, though. But the sound is really good. It sounds good. I didn't notice any sound mistakes in the arcade games. Yeah, with these old arcade games, the sound is a big deal because the sounds are pretty primitive, you know? If the sounds are off, it can ruin the experience.
Nice.
Going for a ride.
No, I don't think I have that ROM there, Widow.
That's a special ROM.
That's a special ROM.
That's a special ROM.
But
and
I'm sure
what I am going to do, this was actually my first time playing the arcade games. So I never played them. This is the very first game I played. And I never played them before. So after this game, I'm going to test to see if it saves your high score. Because, of course, with arcade games, you want it to save your high score, right, Nick? So you want to come back? You want to see what your last score is. You want to see if you can beat the last time you played the game. So we're going to check that.
Holy crap, does this Donkey Kong play the levels out of order?
No, I think this is the
this is supposed to be the second level.
Oh, okay.
And then the third level was supposed to be when you topple Donkey Kong down. Yeah. But yeah, this
keep my I'm still using the included controller. You know, I'm using the included controller. Of course, I'm used to playing this with arcade controls, so it's throwing me off. It's throwing me off a good bit because I'm not used to the controller.
You want to use it. You want to use a D-pad for games.
Probably a gamepad
because this is 8-way essentially. But you've got all the directions.
You know, a 4-way joystick would be better for Donkey Kong for sure. But
brutal.
You know, not bad. I got the high score, 17,500 first play using this joystick right here, which is not bad. I mean, the thing you got to keep in mind, you know, like I'm not expecting the world out of this. I'm just trying to see, like, what is it like? Is it generally a good experience or is it really bad? It's not bad.
It's not bad, but I would still prefer a
Donkey Kong typically has a lot of sound problems.
High scores. Let's check it out. Let's see if it saved the high score.
We're going to go back into Donkey Kong and see if it saved my high score, just to check.
It did.
There you go. It did. High scores are saved.
Cool. It does save high scores. There's my high score.
So for your games that are arcade games, that's going to be a good draw.
Samples.
So we'll see if sound samples are working. Reason I picked Gorf is there's a lot of samples in this game. There's tons of sound samples. All the talking, all the sounds are samples. We're gonna check out some Gorf.
I see that you have the game still zipped up. That still works.
The sounds are in a separate folder, I think. Put all the sounds in a separate folder. This is surprisingly good emulation for a $100 device. Does have the sound samples. Pretty cool. Yeah, my iArcade, I can't get the sound right for Gorf for some reason. This actually sounds correct, though, when you play it.
Sounds pretty quiet right now. I can't hear
it. Yeah. Well, I turned the volume way down.
Was it a loud game?
Yeah, it will be here. I can turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, I can't hear it at all. I can barely hear it.
Get him.
Oh, yeah. I can see why. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, this is awesome. Why haven't I played this game?
Yeah, this game's fun. It has 4 different scenarios that you get through. That's like Galaxians.
A little bit of slowdown there. That's the game.
Yeah, that's the way the arcade game is, though.
Yeah, like look at all that's on the screen. Yeah. So it recreates actual.
In this game, like every time you fire, when you press the fire button again, your bullet disappears, and the bullets are steered. It's kind of got a weird mechanic to it, kind of like Mega Mania on the Atari. The bullets are steered. But I had to put this one. I know this is one of Goofyfoot's favorites, so I wanted to put this one on there too. For Goofyfoot. I know he loves Gorf. So you can play Gorf on it. Play Gorf just fine. Yeah, I like it on the Partycade. That's why I'm keeping my Partycade. It has Gorf on it. Yes, the game of all games. This is for Goofyfoot.
Yes, this is the actual arcade. This is the actual arcade ROM.
Yeah, this is the arcade ROM. All the sound samples work. It sounds just like it. Now, I'm getting the sound just from a mic that's in the room. I'm not getting the sound direct from the unit. I didn't really set up that, but it sounds good. These last 2 stages are deceptively hard. It's very easy to get hit with these fireballs. Right. And remember when we played the 2600 version on your show? You remember that on Atari Tuesdays?
We didn't.
Flagship. We played the 2600 version. Oh no, that was
if it was Phoenix that we played.
That was Phoenix I'm thinking of, yeah.
Yeah,
but it had a mothership as well, Phoenix, yeah. Dude, I cannot get this ship. Look at this. This is insane.
You got a weak point?
You got to hit it in the middle. You got to chip away at it and hit that red part in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Got me again. Got me again.
That's one thing I got to get on.
Come on.
Some arcade ROMs as well.
Dude, I'm about to start cussing.
Wonder if like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle work on here or something. You know, those kind of arcade games. Who knows?
Oh, come on. Get the mothership. I'm looking good.
Go ahead. You will not be disappointed, Goofy. 2 controllers plus the unit. Just make sure you get yourself an SD card and you're all
Yes. Good. Yes.
Good job. Woo! Yeah, if you don't have the GameStation Pro, you're doing it wrong.
Then it resets the whole sequence, but it's like a bunch of like almost like. I'd say Gorf is amazing. Dodon Patchy, let's see how. Okay, I thought there's no way this is gonna work. We're gonna go to like a really like faster shmup now. Okay, I'm gonna see what this thing can do.
You think it's going to work or not?
Okay, so I got to start working on getting some arcade.
Does?
Check
this out.
The countdown begins. 3, 2,
Hold
1,
on, Patchy.
go.
Cave Shmup.
Not bad.
It's pretty smooth. I mean, I can't believe how good it runs.
We gotta find out what other kind of arcade games we can get running on this thing.
I know.
Imagine we get some of those arcade one-up games on here.
Oh yeah, I sure can run all those. I mean, no problem. I mean, look at this. This game's insane. Look at all the stuff going on in this game. This game's crazy. A lot of sprites.
It's unbelievable.
Pretty impressive. Not bad. Yeah.
Wow.
Not bad. Another game with a lot of sound emulation. It's going to have speech in it. Checking out some Frenzy. This will be coming out soon by New Wave Toys.
Oh no.
Great classic game. I always love the robot voices. They sound all correct. Everything sounds good. Sound samples aren't all messed up. Here we go. Not like Antstream. Here we go. Go Evil Auto.
And for $50, guys, like, come on.
Yeah. I mean,
like you are with all the games you're gonna put on it, you're basically getting this for free.
Yeah. Go see Johnny. Johnny and the Lynx. There you go. Frenzy. Running good with sound samples. All the sound samples work.
Oh my god. If it plays
X-Men. It plays it perfect. Yeah.
Next up, let's try some X-Men action.
If it plays this, it's gonna play freaking Teenage Mutant anything like this. It's gonna play. Yeah.
Let's see what I want to be.
I mean,
I'll be Storm.
Oh no, I didn't pay $50 for this. I paid more this.
Yeah, it's still even at full price. I think it's like $95. So
American, yeah.
But
they're
going on. They'll be put. You'll see them on sale for your eye out.
Look at that.
Always love this game. I mean, the '90s X-Men. You got all the cool characters. You got Storm. You got Nightcrawler, Cyclops, Wolverine.
And I'm not 100% sure. You might be able to play 4-player on this. I'm gonna try it because it all has.
You can definitely play 2-player because
it has to do with the pairing. Once you pair these and then you plug something in, right? Because I did that once, right? What I did is I had the controller plugged in the first slot, and I did this afterwards, and it made this player 2.
Yeah, let me turn this down a little bit. You know, the cool thing is, like, you put this on your big TV set, you sit on your couch and you play. And this is like a living room type thing, you know? You set this up wherever you like to play your retro games, you know? Anywhere from about $50 to $60 to $100.
Well, you might be able to pair your
Actually,
your
yeah,
games
I
to
actually use my
control.
ALU as my screen. I
Yeah,
have
but
it on
he's
my
talking
arcade.
about pairing the actual controls to it.
Okay.
I haven't tried that myself because I got the puck and the control panel, but I haven't tried pairing the.
And of course, this game worked, but you know, with this controller, I mean, you can't play it. But I just wanted to see if it would run. It runs fine, no problem.
It's because of that one button
Yeah,
that's mapped to the.
runs fine,
GameStation.
but
Yeah.
don't have the controller for it. So,
Let's
but
try some Magic Sword.
this game does work great.
Yeah, because it should be a 2-button game.
Yeah.
essentially. Yeah.
This is Capcom's Magic Sword, the follow-up to
Masterpiece.
Black Tiger. Yeah, this is a great
There
game,
you go.
I remember playing this in the arcade.
man. This is so fun.
So good. It's the only version.
Look how smooth the emulation is, though. I mean, just overall, the emulation in this thing has been very strong.
Yeah, I gotta watch a video and figure out how to get because there's a different method to get MAME on here as opposed to the regular way you do it on a PC.
Yeah,
And that is described in videos that are out there.
this was a Carlo Game of the Week. With the show, Gregory, you get to pick a partner.
Oh, this is Brooklyn's favorite arcade game ever made. Was this game? You like?
Yeah,
Magic
that's what he
Sword?
said. Yeah, I love Magic Sword. I think I'm gonna switch for the hot Amazon. Yeah, I'll take the hot Amazon. Hot Amazon for the win, please.
Oh yeah, got that bow, that crossbow. Yeah.
So, yeah, the main reference ROMs. Go to the video that says 10,000 games in the link of this this video. I put all the links to everything I found is at the links what I have on this video. You can get everything that I'm playing from those two sites. Gen X Grown Up and Johnny.
Oh! Wonderful.
What did he turn into?
I cannot wait to load this thing up with these old classics. Black Tiger, freaking Ghosts and Goblins, like all those old arcade games on here.
Capcom arcade game.
Crystal
It's running
Castles.
very well on this GameStation Pro. I have to say,
Arc
this is very impressive.
Oh, yes,
Okay,
here's-
you're
here's-
up next. We
here's
need
my
some narration,
Nintendo.
and we're going to go to NES emulation with Nix.
Absolutely.
So, talk a little bit about playing a Nintendo Classic on the GameStation Pro.
It is
What's the experience been
absolutely-
like?
It's the perfect one-for-one recreation. The sound, the controls, it's perfect. It's like having a Nintendo in front of you, essentially.
So the emulation, it doesn't feel off.
Not
Jason
one bit.
says it's $55 right now on Daily Steals.
Order it.
That's a good deal. Yeah.
You're not going to get it cheaper than that.
And the cool thing is you're doing like a series where you're going through and you're playing.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why it's great
Zelda.
because of the HDMI output, and you've got all access to all these games. Like it's a content smorgasbord.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. The Legend of Zelda, though, I think is a good classic game to test for NES because you got a lot going on with that game.
Yeah, it's one of the more taxing games that for its era when it came.
Didn't it have like a battery inside the cartridge and stuff?
One of the
and
first.
It was a gold cartridge.
Yeah, the very first game to have a lithium battery inside of it to save your games and your progress.
Was this the guy that made Mario made this, huh? Shigeru
I believe so.
Did he make this game?
I think so.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure. We'll fact check that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But nevertheless, it's a great classic. And tell them about what's your channel's name and where can you be found. I have a link in the description.
All right, my channel's name is Nix at Nick's Reviews, member
So-
of the Power Gamers.
Nick's Reviews
Yes, absolutely.
on YouTube.
Find me on YouTube.
I like
the
that page scroll. You saw that's like returning the page.
turn the page, absolutely.
Dude, you make it look easy. Like, here's the thing: you're a good gamer. Like, I've played games with you before. You've got like good gaming skills. Yeah.
So what I'm doing
You
here,
make everything look easy.
Oh
You
yeah,
play it yourself.
yeah. Right here, I'm going through and I'm showing everybody what you can do at the start before you even hit the first dungeon. If you can get yourself a bomb and a blue flame, you can go around and get all these secrets on the overworld before you even start.
I was watching you play, and like you just went you went to where there was like a mountain area and just dropped a bomb, and there was a door that appeared.
Absolutely, that's
Like,
a hidden
there's all
secret.
kind of crazy secrets, huh? Built into
Absolutely.
this game. Pretty cool.
See secret rubies, secret heart containers,
Uh,
and right here we got a sword, the white sword. Nice, I got this
And
before you even fighting.
you're trying to get all the pieces of what is it? The Triforce.
Yeah, so for people that are not familiar with this game, you're trying to collect 8 pieces of the Triforce that have been scattered throughout the land within the dungeons by Princess Zelda, which has been before she was kidnapped by the evil Prince of Darkness, Ganon, who is in control of the Triforce of Power. And to have ultimate control of the realm, one must possess both Triforces. So you're in a rush to reconstruct the Triforce of Wisdom before Ganon does, and rescue and use the power of the wisdom to help rescue Princess Zelda and save the land from
Look, you got a key.
Ganon's evil source, evil power. Yes. So that's one of the cool things about this. This is one of the first dungeon crawlers
Uh-huh.
on the NES.
Look at those skeletons. How retro is that? Pretty cool.
Yeah, the only enemy that gives me a hard time in the game is the wizards.
Uh,
They really
oh, we got so he's taking on the dragon. Here he goes.
Yeah, right. Let's slay the dragon.
Got this, Nix. You got this.
Take that dragon. Take that dragon. Take that dragon. I have slayed the dragon.
Woo!
We slayed the dragon.
All right. Now, is that a piece of the Triforce?
That is the very first piece that we've collected of the Triforce.
Cover the piece of the Triforce.
Victorious.
There you go. There you go. So NES emulation, nice and smooth. Goofy Foot just picked one up for $49. Good for you.
Yeah, you
Did
see
his
how
clothing
perfect that
change?
emulation?
Was he green at the start? Now he's white?
Yeah,
Or was he
yeah,
always
because because what you
He
do.
changed colors, didn't he?
Yeah, and there's an item that does that. So what I did is after I beat the first dungeon, I got up to 250 rubies, which is the cost of this item called the Blue Ring. So you have to find that hidden in the overworld, and when you get that ring, it's like a defensive power. So instead of taking damage, you can take like one hit without losing a heart, essentially.
Okay.
So it helps you. And then there's another item that's the red ring, which you'll get later on in the playthrough, which will turn Link red.
Okay.
He'll
So
be
right
white.
now you're playing through the whole game, The Legend of Zelda. This is to be continued. You can watch it on your channel.
Absolutely.
And you're gonna show people that are new to the game how to get through the game, The Legend of Zelda. Pretty cool. So I just wanted to do a little spotlight here and show off this. This is all captured from the GameStation Pro.
Absolutely nice aspect ratio as well. Keeps it.
You play this on what, a PlayStation 5 controller?
Yep, that's what I was.
Game
Yep.
Boy game?
PlayStation 5.
You know what I'm gonna pick. There's only
this-
one. There's only one Game Boy game that you gotta play.
Oh, there's another one, Dr. Mario. That's a
Oh
good
yeah,
one.
Dr. Mario.
You gotta have Dr. Mario for Game Boy.
Dr.
That
Mario,
was one of the best Dr. Marios as well.
Right, let's do this. Tetris! 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 Woo!
I wonder if you could play 2-player. Probably not, because you need to
Next
link.
up, some
you
Game
need
Boy
to link
Color
those Game
emulation.
Boys.
Yeah, some Game Boy Color. Showing that it works.
Yeah, you'll be able to play Phantasy Star, Jason, for sure. Like a Sega Master System, for sure, on here.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, it's running the Game Boy and Game Boy Color.
It'll
The Game
probably
Boy
run
Color, I really
TurboGrafx.
never had one, so I didn't know what games to pick. I just picked this Mario game. Then I tried 2 other games. When you see the train wrecks I picked for games to test, I just don't have any history with this. So, like, you're going to see my other picks are pretty bad. But we'll take a look anyway.
I was never comfortable with a plumber being my doctor.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody was. Dr.
Yeah, Dr. Mario, man. I hope he washed his hands. Welcome to the stream, Elio.
You might as well call Dr. Mario like the pharmacist, because he's throwing all those pills.
Mm-hmm.
The pill bottle.
Yeah. We're checking out games on the GameStation Pro. These are all emulated from a memory card. And some of these games that use a gamepad are a little harder to control with this Atari-style joystick. This is really ideally suited for the Atari games. It's really where this shines. Look at this clunky game I picked.
Yeah.
This was not a good pick. This was not a good pick.
This is Game Boy Color, though.
This is Game Boy Color Street Fighter Alpha.
Yeah, which is crap.
I was like, I like Street Fighter. Anyway,
No.
I just skipped to the end. It was
You
so
don't
bad.
play
It
these
was
versions
painful.
of Street Fighter.
And I was like, I like X-Men. This game
No.
is not also that
No,
good. This game was painful.
You don't play these versions
Painful.
either.
So I didn't know what to pick. So
There's very, very few Game Boy Color games you want to play.
this is a pretty amazing device. For sub $100, it's a fun retro gaming device. You have a lot of emulation options. Be sure to check out the links in the description of this video. We'll send you where you need to go to be able to play all these amazing games.
Absolutely.
I'm enjoying it. If you enjoyed this content, consider subscribing to the channel. Smash that like button. And as always, stay legit. Okay, so there you go. So overall, what would you say your opinion is? Is this a must buy? For me, it's a must buy. I'm gonna tell you, after having one, I mean, I'm gonna give a strong recommendation. I would say
three items. This, and the unit.
If you're a fan of retro gaming, this is a no-brainer. I mean, like, for the cost of one modern game, you can play thousands of games. I mean, it's like,
and you're getting hardware.
Beautiful picture. You're getting hardware. That's true. I mean, it's really good. Like, I'm shocked. Like, I always thought of the MyArcade. I think I've got a MyArcade back.
Yeah. I always thought they were just some kind of, just cheap kind of toy. Yeah, I got one
stuff,
of those.
I mean,
yeah.
But
I
was like,
one
how good could it be? Look at this. This
right
is,
there.
But I mean, I was shocked. It was way better than I thought it could ever be. So I'm going to give it a strong recommendation from me. I've really enjoyed having it.
Out of 10, I'm going to give it a.
I give it a 9.
I'm going to give it a 9 to put it over the top. They got to do that button mapping.
Yeah, there's stuff they could still add. I mean, you know what it doesn't have? It doesn't have like little picture tiles for the games. Like when I use my Legends,
it loses a point. Yeah,
my Legends Gamer Pro, I have little tiles and stuff. But I gotta look at like for the cost. I mean, I'm thinking if you can get this from $60 to like $90, it's worth it. For the cost of one modern game, you can play thousands. It was easy to. I mean, if I can set it up, anyone can do it. So believe me, it's not that hard. And make sure you check the links. Subscribe to everyone's channel in the description of this video. I want to thank you so much, Nix, for coming on, keeping me company. It's time to close our poll. We have the 2600 plus coming in with. Oh my goodness, I got to end this poll. 2600 plus 65% Nicks.
Oh wow.
Atari GameStation Pro.
A lot of people have those carts out there.
Yeah, 35%. 35%. And ready for this? Atari 50th Arcade 1-Up, 0%.
That was in the
0.
poll? I didn't even get to see what was in the poll.
I'm
But
gonna
cool.
I'm gonna put it up so we have it on the stream permanently. The question was best Atari product of 2023. And we copy that, we paste that here.
Yeah, this takes the cake because you can get anything on this thing pretty much. We've pretty much shown you what you can kind of do with it. And it's up to you to tinker further.
Yeah, you're kind of on your own, but there's lots of tutorials out there.
Oh, absolutely.
I would say the two guys that I recommended, they both pretty much can run you through the whole thing of finding everything you need to do what I'm showing. So I would definitely, rather than me make videos are not as good, I'm just saying go give them some views, give them some support. Continue to watch your videos because they helped me get this set up. If you're playing some old school games, this is perfect for it. I think, between this and the Atari 2600 Plus, I mean, I've never had so many good ways to play Atari, I mean, have you played Atari today? I might be playing
I have
Genesis on my Atari, but I have. So, I think it's great that we have so many choices and so much freedom now with emulation as retro gamers. And I just want to share the love. If you've not checked this out, it's worth getting. And that's it. I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. Hit that thumbs up on the way out. We appreciate you being here. Tomorrow night on Arcade Talk, we will be giving away a Atari GameStation Pro.
Miss it.
So come over to Arcade Talk and it's on Arcade Talk and Star Wars Review Channel, 9:30. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. Appreciate it. And with that, always stay legit. Take care.